We have a funny looking old houseboat. We bought it a long time ago. We bought it used. It was a great price. The person we bought it from, they weren't looking for money. They had enough money. They had just bought a really nice pontoon boat, and they had a speedboat and some jet skis, and they're a family who lives out at the water, and they have all the gear. But they had had this old houseboat in their family. It was kind of an eyesore, and they were done with it. And so they priced it well. And we went out and looked at it, expecting it to be really awful. And it had a lot of potential. So we said, hey, let's just buy this thing and fix it up. And we bought it, and we didn't do a whole lot of fixing up like we had planned just because we got busy. Last summer, I really went to town and tore out the floors and did all that good stuff. Just making sure I've got the right baby. And I put in like a vinyl floor, and I painted the cabinets a pretty gray. And I reupholstered some of the benches, not all of them. And, you know, just replaced and fixed what I could. And when I say I did that, I did it, you know, on a budget. I did all the work myself and just took my time. Every time we went out there, I did a little bit more until it was done. And it is not a fancy boat. And it's not seaworthy, not at all. I mean, you can take it out on the lake and stuff, but we don't. We just leave it sitting in its little berth that we rent, this little slip, and we just kind of use it as home base, kind of like a floating cabin. And we went out there last week just to check on it, make sure nobody was sleeping in it or nobody had hijacked it and taken off, and make sure that, you know, it wasn't filled with little baby swallows nesting. Not sure what we would have done if it was, but you know, you just go out and check on those things, and it's pretty secluded, so going out there felt safe. Nobody else was out there, and it was really nice. And, you know, spent the day cleaning and sweeping and getting the spiders out and getting things ready for summer. Not sure how things are going to look this summer, but given that it is so nice and quiet out where we have it, it's on somebody's private property. We just rent a spot to put our boat there. I think we'll be able to go out there and enjoy this summer. We're not speedboating or anything like that. We just have some paddle boards, and we paddle on the lake and barbecue and hang out. Again, it's not a fancy boat. It's kind of a floaty motorhome. It was like built in, like, I don't know, 1970s. And I think the original boat was like orange, and it had like these orange and brown decals all over it. And I think it may have had orange interior, orange or brown interior. But I ripped off what was left of the decals, and I got some funky mushroom decals and stuck it on there. And, you know, it just is what it is, but it's fun. I almost sold it this year just because we don't go out to it very often. My older kids don't want me to sell it, but that's mostly because, it's not because they, you know, are longing for good family fun time. They want to go out there with their friends, you know, and have weekends out there and have little parties and barbecues and feel like grown-ups. And I'm cool with that, but I also don't feel like they're as interested in keeping up the maintenance and being respectful. I have good kids, and they're respectful in general. But I just don't want it to turn into like party houseboat, and then all their friends tell some other friends they've got this houseboat out there, and, you know, you just go out there and do whatever you want. Nobody's there, and before you know it, you know, somebody gets hurt or it's trashed, and we're liable. And There's just a whole lot of stuff. I have to think about that some more. It's weird when your kids grow up, you know. How do you handle that stuff? But if they had children of their own, you know, and they were like, Mom, you know, we want to take the kids out to the houseboat. Are you okay with that? I'd be like, yeah, that's great. And it's not fair, you know, for me to say, I don't really want you and your friends out there, you know, being silly out on my houseboat. Anyway, I am going to go throw some more babies in the oven, and I'll be back in a little bit. Doesn't this light look great coming through here? I love this window. I was really inspired again by Twisted Beanstalk. She had her desk up against a window that faced her, I think her backyard, her yard, or I don't know if it was her front or backyard. But every time I would watch her videos and I'd see all that really beautiful natural light and the view, I was so envious of that. And when I came out here, part of making my decision to come out here was that I would be surrounded by windows. And it really elevates your mood and inspires you to be creative, and it makes things more pleasant being out here, and I'm closer to my house, so I feel more part of my family, and so it's working out really well. It was a good decision, a really, really good decision. Alrighty, let's get some of these babies baked, and I'll be back with some progress. Good morning, everyone. This is apricot tea today. Apricot green tea. It's interesting. I'm not sure it's my favorite. Nellie, and I'm at the stage with these babies where I usually overdo it, and I think she looks nice and pale, and she's super pink, and her modeling looks great, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about whether that is just too obvious. Let me look at her limbs, and she has a belly plate too. Check this out. Isn't that cute? So if I look, we'll just play Assemble Baby this morning. Her limbs, you know, I think they're going to be fine. I just don't do pale babies a lot, so for me they always look undone, but I need to remember that, you know, lots of babies are fair and pale, and it's okay that they're fair and pale. Sometimes they just have to be a fair and pale baby. So I'm looking at this, and I think I'm actually going to leave her like this. I feel weird about it, but I'm going to. She's super cute. She's got that little newborn pink thing going on. Nice baby. So I'm gonna actually start hair painting here soon. I have this baby that's ready to start. This baby is almost ready. This is Ruby. She's kind of pale, but she's the kind of pale I'm cool with, and she has a lot of gold undertones. So I think she's ready to go. And this baby needs to get another bake on. This poor baby went super, super red and had a lot of lavender undertones that were just a little bit too, I think a little too deep. So I'm color correcting and bringing her color up a little bit. I don't like to do that because I don't like to see opaque paint on a baby, and so far it's going okay. I'm just giving her very, very thin light washes until I get a look that I like. Hey everyone, I lost my battery on my phone, so I was sitting there yammering away and painting, and lo and behold, and you just watched me clean my glasses off on my shirt, I didn't even know that I didn't have power. So how embarrassing is that? That's okay. In the time that took, I got Bailey cooked and Ruby cooked and Brooklyn and Joseph. Every time I say Joseph or I see Joseph, I always think of Joe Coy's mom calling him Joseph, and it always cracks me up. If you don't know who that is, it's just this really cool comedian whose family originally came from the Philippines, and he does his mom's accent so spot on. It's really funny. So lots of drama going on in the Reborn community again. I'm not real happy about it. Actually, I'm pretty upset, sad, a little pissed about it. But if I engage without really having a solution or having something to offer that will make it better, I'm not sure that that's helpful. I'm just adding more fuel to a fire that doesn't belong to me. The part that even makes me bring it up is the person I happen to care about. Now, I belong to, some forums, and I watch YouTube videos, and I like being a part of the Reborn community. It's super fun, and I've met some really great people, and I've made some friends. Like, so stoked by it. I feel so happy. Some of the people here are just the nicest people you'll ever want to meet. For the most part, I have found that people in this community tend to be super generous, very friendly, and they just love these babies, and they love making them and collecting them and talking about them and role playing with them and all kinds of great stuff and gifting them. I am not doing a tutorial. I am just painting and chatting, and I'm just not doing anything different than I would normally do. So if you want to hang out and watch me paint, that's cool. I don't know how boring that is for some people. I personally enjoy it, and this is going to be silly, and I hope nobody judges me, but LaDonna Briggs, she is a Reborn artist. She does and I've talked about her before, she does these vintage babies, super, super cute vintage babies. I love her style. It's not my style. I wish it was, but it's not. And she has this tutorial, this hair painting tutorial that she did. And she just sits there, and she has the cutest voice. I don't know what it is about her voice. It's just so sweet and calm. And if I can't sleep, I'll just turn that on and watch her paint for a little while, and ultimately I'll fall asleep. It's like a lullaby. I can't explain it. It's so weird. Please don't tell anybody that I said that. I was hoping to meet her at Rose this year too, but doggone it. So I belong to these forums and stuff, and people are nice. Not everybody is, and that's just the way the world is, right? It would be great if everybody was on the same page and played by the same rules, but that doesn't always happen. And so some not so great person said something not so nice to a very nice person. It really hurt me. I just don't understand that kind of behavior at all. And other artists and other people have commented, and I'm sure there's going to be a frenzy of YouTube videos made about it. So I guess you can get all the tea there on those channels. Really, the only reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I wanted to say to Sean, who is a YouTube content provider, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry somebody said something and did something like that. That is not fair, and it's not okay. And I'm just really sorry that happened. And the thing I love that you said was that you're a strong person and you're okay. And I like that, and I love that, and I think that's one of the wonderful things about you. That was terrible. And I would hate to think people in this community behave like that. And I don't know, I just can't find a place where all that kind of meanness fits in. But it exists. What can you do, People who behave like that are just going to behave like that. And I don't imagine there's anything that I'm going to say or do that's going to change that today or any day. All I think we can do is just wrap our arms around the people who are kind and are good, and make this community and the world a much nicer place to be in, right? Maybe I'm being a little too California airy-fairy.